we're talking to political analyst Ranjit Rye, who is, of course, also the president of Okta Research. Hi, Prof.
Hi,
Hi,
Professor.
hi, ladies. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me.
Nasa ka, Prof?
I'm in the middle of a hotel talking to some embassies now, giving them a briefing exactly of what we're going to talk about today.
Hala, are they worried?
So yeah, then
Are
Mike calls and then says that I have to be on cam. So I'm always loyal to you guys.
Thank you for that.
Thank
But
you.
what are the embassies saying? Are people getting worried? Are the investors getting worried?
They just want to find out, what's happening and getting a sense of. But the president's report today was well timed, and I think he means what he says and says what he means about making people accountable, because that's what the surveys are showing. 60% are outraged, angry, and nearly more than half, close to 7 out of 10 Filipinos have basically 3 expectations. 1 is to hold people accountable, 2 to see people go to jail, and 3 restitution to get the money back. It's clear in the surveys. And maybe this is also why the president is doing exactly the kind of reporting he's doing today, that the government is working very hard to see that, something will come out of all these investigations, that people's expectations are going to be met.
But on the other hand, mukhang tuloy-tuloy yung bagsak nung approval ratings, both of the President and Sara Duterte, no?
Yeah.
So parang hindi yata tumatalab yung mga ginagawa. Although medyo dramatic na yung mga moves ni President Marcos, mukhang hindi yata tumatalab sa tao, no?
Tama.
What can you say about it?
Yeah, we were surprised. I think of all the survey companies, the biggest drops are seen in Okta. Nearly double digit. And yeah. Well, it is what it is, Ami. People are disappointed. While people appreciate, 83% of Filipinos appreciate the president revealing all these shenanigans as far as flood control projects are concerned. I think the leadership expectation is quite high, and I think it's to be expected that his numbers will go down. We are assuming, of course, that the intent of all of this is not PR, but really to we should expose this structural problem as far as governance is concerned in the country, which is corruption. And we hope that it will stabilize and go up for both of them, for both the vice president and the president. The vice president now, I think it's not really about corruption. It's really, I think people are asking, what is she doing? Her performance ratings have finally really gone down, but it's less about the issue of corruption. I'm sure it is also, but it's more about, she's becoming less and less politically relevant as far as the everyday Filipino is concerned, because they don't see her doing, going out and doing stuff. So I think her own situation is easily, she can remedy the situation by going out, talking more, and doing the programs that she earmarked for the vice president's office. But the president is, the buck stops with him, and he opened a Pandora's box in a sense. And now the hard work of institutional reform has to start. But it cannot start without accountability and restitution, which is the first, the first phase of all of this. People have to go to jail, money has to be returned, and systems have to be reformed. So I think the president is trying very hard. But you're right, Ami, it's an uphill climb for him now. We've not seen these kinds of declines in Okta for almost a year. We don't see his numbers improving still, because the situation is still problematic in the perception of most Filipinos. But then again, the good out of this is that the president's not here to be popular. The president is here to do the right thing, and that the right thing to do is what he's doing now: holding people accountable, reforming the institutions, reforming the process of governance, especially with regards to this infrastructure development program, helping reform the budget. We're hoping that the senators Kasi sabi, a lot of people are going to jail, Ma'am Ami. Hindi ko alam kung
Yon, kapag
may
natuloy na,
kasamang
na
senador
hindi,
dyan.
hindi Merry Christmas sila, may makukulong. You
Inadala
think
ko
that
may
will
mga
give a
senador na
bump?
kasama dyan.
Mababump kaya yung mababump yung ratings ni Presidente? Kung totoo nga hindi Merry Christmas para sa mga taon to. Kung may
Yeah, I know
makukulong.
May makukulong daw eh. And so,
So
and especially now we have...
will that improve his ratings?
But, I don't think it's about ratings anymore. It's about doing the right thing. The president's not here to be popular. He's not running for re-election. And so is the ombudsman, no? And the ombudsman's very, activist and, very, very much involved, no, in this process. He also came out with his own report yesterday, basically saying this is what's going to happen. Please calm down. Please be assured that your government is doing something. So I think the messaging is quite consistent. But to hear this from the president today is dramatic, So
but
people's
Prof,
anger hopefully will be assuaged.
But Prof, I mean, to be honest, he didn't say anything new today.
Yeah.
lahat ito alam na namin. We know that
Yeah.
the first batch of cases will be filed next week. We know it'll be malversation and falsification of documents. We know the names. We know the timelines. But what sense are all these gonna be enough? And ikaw ba, when you were watching it, what sense did you get na parang, oh, tama naman, the progress, there has been real progress, or kulang pa rin?
This is real progress. I mean, it's not every day you see in the Philippine government and politics people going to jail, I mean, this is the first step in a long process. And I think it's a very important step forward to hold people accountable. I mean, just the amount of savings we have realized because we've taken out so much from flood control, rationalizing the budget. And we hope the Senate will take advantage, no? And reinvest all that or reallocate all that all those funds to health, education. Vince Dizon is a great secretary. He'll probably find a way to, really reduce the cost of DPWH projects so we can build more and better. So, it has to start someplace, no? We're always cynical. That's easy to do, but these things don't happen all the time in Philippine government and politics. Nobody goes to jail. Alam mo yun? And so the last time we had this was the Napoles situation, and that created some good. Obviously not enough, no? Because people still got around the system. But the real step forward will be institutional reform. See, jailing people is one thing, but reforming institutions is another, and that I think is the way forward in the medium to long term. How are we going to, stop, for example, ghost projects? Dapat wala na yan eh. And it can be done. And it will require a whole of nation approach, meaning the private sector, civil society have to come into the budget process, have to come into project management. We all have to pitch in because this is a systemic, endemic problem, and it's a challenge to both our democracy and development.
It's interesting you mentioned the Vice President's slide, no? Pareho sila ni President Marcos. And meron namang isang consistent na ginagawa si Vice President. She's still attacking President Marcos.
Yeah.
Hindi na ba yun, Nagiging negative na ba yun sa kanya at this point? Yun tuloy-tuloy pa rin na. Puro yun yung naririnig natin, di ba? Anti-government pa rin, anti-Marcos. Yan ang ganon. You think kailangan na niya medyo kumambyo?
I think kailangan niya kumambyo in the sense na, okay, ito yung gagawin ko para sa tao. I won't just comment. I won't just, use my pulpit to attack the president. I'm going to actually contribute to, in my own way, the way Lenny did when she was vice president, no? Contribute in my own way to national development, to helping others, to helping people. I'm sure she's doing something towards that. Anyway, Ami, if you think about it, she's still on top of the surveys for if the elections were held today, 2028. So, she's... in fact, all she has to do is to sit down and watch it. If the government doesn't do anything,
Kaya naman number one siya kasi wala pa naman nag-emerge na iba.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. But, based on our
Hindi
surveys...
naman niya kakumpetensya si President Marcos in 2028.
Yes, that's true.
Nag-iisa
That's
lang siya
true.
talaga actually.
Yeah, that's true. Pero we also have data to show now, even if we pit her against others, she's doing very well as far as the numbers are concerned. I know they're preliminary, they're very early, they're premature, but that says a lot about how people see her. They see her as a viable alternative, as somebody who they can consider for a future position. That's for the presidency. So if she plays her cards right, she talks less and does more, she'll probably consolidate whatever support that she has now. Because that preference is not permanent. Things change. And we don't know if there are cases against her. We don't know if the issues against her will die. But certainly people don't see her as the issue now. It's really graft and corruption and the buck stops with the president, who, by the way, is trying his best to contain and to respond to the challenge posed by the public.
Oo nga, no, you reminded me, Prof. Aren't you due a report to us? Diba, you did your latest survey is due around now. Was it the president?
Yeah. We're releasing them slowly. Tomorrow we're going to release one survey. And then next week we're going to do the preference survey. We'll release that also after the big rally. We don't want our information kasi to be weaponized. So, it's really hard in this environment to release neutral data. So after the rally, we'll see, and then we'll release our data on the economy also, maybe reinforcing the perspectives already articulated by other survey agencies, what they've observed. There's a lot of unanimity as far as perceptions about poverty and hunger is concerned. So, again, this is all useful for the government so that they can calibrate and recalibrate. The goal is to inform, provide visibility about what's happening so that we can respond, the government can respond, and all of us can also help in the process of responding to these common challenges.
Right. Okay, well, we'll await that report tomorrow, and then we'll call you back in another time. But thank you for stepping away and talking to us this afternoon, even though you're very busy. That was political analyst Ranjit Rye, also the president of Octa Research. Salamat, Prof.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor.